What is up, everybody? It's another episode of Talking Farm on the Farm. I'm the Amish Country Mets fan, and boy, we got a lot to talk about. The New York Mets have beefed up the farm system. That's not beef, that's pork. We don't eat the pork. And yeah, there's a lot of new kids on the block, so we're going to talk about them. If you're not aware of who they are, I'm going to try to just give you like a brief scouting report. And yeah, that's what I'm going to cover today. And then next week, maybe we'll do one on checking in on some of the other kids. But we're going to kind of do this in order of somewhat like their rankings. We'll start with Luis Angel Acuna, the big prize of the deadline for the Mets. A 21-year-old second baseman, plays shortstop and center field as well. He's hitting .311 with a .373 on-base percentage, .448 slugging, .821 OPS, has 7 homers and 51 RBIs. He will be joining AA Binghamton. Has an ETA of 2024. I could definitely see that. I don't know if he'll break with the Mets right out of camp. You know the Mets are very conservative with bringing up their players, so it might take a little while to get up here, but I definitely think 2024 we'll see this kid. He attacks pitches with an explosive right-handed stroke, has an aggressive approach at the plate. He could be a 270-ish hitter with like 20 home run power. That's pretty good for a middle infielder. Solid speed, savvy on the bases. He steals a lot of bases. He's got tools and athleticism to play all over the diamond. And like I said before, he's mostly played short. But for us, he'll probably land either at second base or center field. And I know people are harping about the fact that we got so many shortstops. Listen, I promise you, positions don't matter. Kids can move. Kids can be flipped to other teams. Don't worry so much about the positions. Next up, another prize prospect that we got, Drew Gilbert. 22-year-old outfielder. I think he mainly played center field. Left-handed hitter. He's hitting .274 with a .363 on base, .458 slugging, .821 OPS, 12 homers, 38 RBIs. He will also be joining AA Binghamton. His ETA is set for 2025, but that might be a little conservative. I've read a lot of reports saying he might be ready to go next year. This is a guy that's extremely aggressive in all phases of the game. Has superb hand-eye coordination that enables him to repeatedly barrel the ball and produce high exit velocity. His swing can get long sometimes because he kind of chases, he hunts up for home runs at times, so he's got to work on that a little bit. He's got solid to plus speed, covers a lot of ground in center, and he plays with a lot of emotion, so he's got to rein that in a little bit sometimes, but you like to see that though. I like my guys playing with emotion. One of the reasons I love Alvarez so much. Next up, 20-year-old outfielder Ryan Clifford, another lefty outfielder. He's hitting .291, .399 OBP, .520 slugging, .919 OPS, 18 homers, 61 RBIs. His ETA says 2026. This kid, Drew Gilbert, was the big prospect we got. He was the number 1 prospect in Texas system. Houston system, I apologize. But Ryan Clifford, I read that I think in some cases Houston was more upset about losing him than they were Gilbert. So you can take that with a grain of salt, but you never know. Clifford's approach is more mature than most players his age. He has very good bat speed, makes hard contact. He's projectable strength for 20 to 25 home run power. Solid arm strength, should stick in a corner outfield spot. So that's good. The Mets need outfield prospects. We were kind of lacking on those for a bit. Next up, we got Marco Vargas, second baseman. 18 years old, lefty hitter. Playing down in the Florida Complex League. .292 average, .460 OBP, .438 slugging, .898 OPS, 2 homers, 21 RBIs. His ETA isn't until 2027. But hear rave reviews about this kid. If we keep him, I think he might be a gem. Extremely advanced hitter for his age, ability to recognize pitches and control the strike zone. He hits well to the opposite field, makes a lot of hard line drive contact, could develop 15 to 20 home run power. Is an instinctive base runner, has good actions and average range and arm at second base. He probably will stick at second base, but you never know. Again, young kid, they could try to move him around a little bit. He's years away, but a lot of rave reviews about Marco Vargas. Next up, we got Justin Jarvis. By the way, going back, so just so you know who we got, if you aren't aware, Luis Acuna came over in the Max Scherzer trade from Texas. It was a 1-for-1 swap. Gilbert and Clifford both came over from Houston for Verlander. Vargas was one of the guys we got from Miami for Robertson. Justin Jarvis, I believe, is who we got for Acuna. Justin Jarvis, 23-year-old right-handed pitcher, out of pitching in AAA for the Brewers. Actually, only a few starts in AAA, small sample size. 0-2 with a 10.8 ERA, 6-4 with a 3.33 ERA in AA. Fastball, four-seamer, sits at between 92 and 94. Got incredible ride up in the zone, low 80 splitter that fades nicely, a low 80 slider that flashes above average and has good vertical and horizontal break, and a mid 70s looping curve is what his pitch arsenal is. He's 6'2", 183 pounds. Like he said, has a deep pitch arsenal that should help him out, and he's projected to be a back end of the rotation starter. So, I mean, if things pan out, that would be great. We need more pitching. So, we'll see. The Mets didn't get a lot of arms this deadline. They mostly got bats, and that's mostly been the big complaint I've seen with the trades. It doesn't bother me. To me, it's all about stacking talent, regardless of the position. And our arms have actually progressed nicely this year, so we got a lot of guys hitting AA and AAA that could be ready as soon as next year. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, prospects are a gamble. They're never gonna all work out. Some of them won't be here because they get traded. So it's like we're not gonna predict anything on these guys, even the ones that are like really highly touted. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Next up, this one isn't necessarily a deadline guy that we got. This guy we got for Eduardo Escobar way back in June, I think it was. Coleman Crow, 22 years old, right-handed pitcher. He's been hurt. He's had elbow issues. He hasn't come back yet. He was 2-0 with a 1.80 ERA before he got hurt. He was in AA with the Angels. He was the main guy that we got in that trade. But like I said, he's been hurt. We'll see if he is able to get back and get going again. His ETA was 2024, but that might be delayed a bit. He has a fastball that sits 90 to 94. It plays up. It gets a lot of grounders with it. Low 80 slider with a very high spin rate. Slower upper 70s curve. Above average changeup. He likes to pitch backwards a lot, so he likes to rely on the secondary pitches and then work his fastball in. And again, another guy that his ceiling is a back end starter, which for Escobar, if you got a back end starter, that'd be great. Obviously he's hurt, so I don't know. We'll see if he pans out or not. Next up is Ronald Hernandez, another guy that we got in the trade for David Robertson from the Marlins. 19-year-old catcher in the Florida Complex League. His ETA is 2026, 288 average, 467 OBP, 432 slugging, 899 OPS, 3 homers, 26 RBIs. He's very agile behind the plate. Good job. He does a good job blocking balls. He's got a solid to plus arm, caught 33% of base runners last year. Good leadership skills, bilingual, is able to talk to the pitchers, English speaking and Spanish speaking. That's kind of important nowadays. Has a sound swing from both sides, contact to all fields. He's patient at the plate. He could develop 12 to 15 home run power in the future, but he's a ways away, so we'll see. Like I said, not all of these guys are going to pan out. Not all of these guys are going to stick to their positions, and not all of these guys are going to amount to any, be on the team. Even if they do pan out, they may get traded, so we'll see. Just another piece for us. This one was an interesting one. Infielder, outfielder Jeremiah Jackson. We got him for Dominic Leone, which was an interesting move. I wouldn't have thought anybody would have wanted Leone, let alone give us a somewhat intriguing prospect. Like, this guy's not going to blow anybody away, but he was 9th in a Bad Angel system. Ranked 9th in a Bad Angel system. He's a AA. ETA is 2024. 248, 321. 321 on base. 447 slugging. 768 OPS. 15 homers with 56 RBIs. The ball jumps off this kid's bat. He's 23 years old, by the way. Ball jumps off his bat. He's got wiry strength, good bat speed and loft. Good athlete, runs well, good arm. He's played second, left, center, and third. He does strike out a lot, so he does have a lot of swing and miss issues. It's a gamble. It's one of those risk prospects. I mean, forget anything for Dominic Leone, I think, is a win, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. The next guy I have on here is Landon Marceau, I think is how you pronounce it. The other guy we got in the Escobar trade way back when. He's an A-ball. He got sent down to A-ball. His numbers have been atrocious. He has not been good since joining the Mets at all. But he does have a fastball that plays up. He has a couple breaking pitches. Doesn't miss a lot of bats, but he does generate weak contact. So we'll see with him. That's a guy we kind of just took a flyer on. You can't get too picky in some of these deals. I mean, it's Eduardo Escobar. At the time, Eduardo Escobar was doing nothing for us, and we wanted to get Beatty more playing time, so it was time to move on, and we got a couple pieces for him. The last guy on the list is the guy that we got for Tommy Pham. I saw some people not too excited. They thought we should have got more for Pham. I get it, but this guy, again, if you look at his just raw, like, tools wise, and it's a guy you're taking a flyer on. It's a high upside kid. I think it was the highest ranked international prospect that Diamondbacks had signed last year. His name's Jeremy Rodriguez, another shortstop, 17 years old. He's a lefty. He's playing out in the Dominican League. That's how raw this kid is. 246, 2 homers, 18 RBIs with a 740 OPS. Slick and smooth defender. He has a compact swing. So wait and see what prospect guy. You just never know. He's going to take, obviously, a lot of time to develop. He does have a disciplined approach at the plate. I haven't seen much on this kid. I've seen a lot of video on, I've gone out and seeked out video on a lot of other these guys. Jeremy Rodriguez has been hard to find. I mean, he's in the Dominican League. That explains some of that. So we'll see. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Talking Farm on the Farm. The New Kids on the Block episode. So appreciate everybody watching. I know it's going to be a tough couple months. Hang in there. Let's go Mets.